See if this worked now. I think it has worked. Give me a sec. See if this worked. I think it has worked. It has worked. Awesome. So, the main reason why the stream was very brief just a second ago is because I had the wrong thumbnail. I didn't want to type out. Why have I got advertisements for Gaviscon? Very odd. Anyway, today we are doing a bit of a tier list based on how Simpsons characters would survive a zombie apocalypse. So I figured, why not do a combination of my fandoms that I cover. So I thought we'll do The Simpsons and Walking Dead in one. But I realised that most of my subscribers are Simpsons based. So we'd go for Simpsons based on a zombie apocalypse. I thought that was a good idea. So that way, if there's some Walking Dead fans here, they can possibly join in on the stream and enjoy my opinions on the survival rate of Simpsons characters. I don't know. Figured it'd be a fun way of doing it. Vader asks, "Hi Magnus, how are you?" And I say, "I'm great." Spring King says, "Yo soy." Why you call me soy? I'd like to know what is up with that one. Anyway, like I said, today we are doing Walking Dead characters, not Walking Dead, Simpsons characters based on how they would survive a zombie outbreak. Okay, so I've got a bunch of categories. Will grow old is for like, it's like the S plus tier, as in this character would, survive long enough to grow old. Long lasting as in they'd last a while, but they'd probably die at some point. Last a while is they'll last a while, but probably die at some point. Would avoid conflict is someone who would hide a lot, someone who would use their smarts, use their wisdom to avoid conflict, but would, ultimately always be in harm's way. Survive for a bit is, they'd survive for a fair amount of time, but eventually die. Dead after a while is basically they would die after a short while. Dead pretty soon, as in once the zombie break happens, within a month they'll be dead. And no chance, meaning that they probably die on the first day / hours. Open a new flavored dimension. What? I don't even understand that. Oh, this shit. Oh, right. I don't know how to get rid of this. I've got ad block on. I don't know what's going on. I can't be arsed fixing it. You'll have to deal with it, right? We've got Gaviscon here. I'm pretty sure I bought this like a year ago. I had some really bad heartburn and I bought some Gaviscon and now it's recommending me. So there you go. £9 and 3 pence to... Oh shit, it's been reduced. Or I've never bought anything like this, so I don't know what the fuck this is. Anyway, that's what we're doing today. Zombie outbreak. I think I explained it all. So many will die ASAP. Maybe that's what this is going to be. Let's have a look. So we got Agnes Skinner. Do you know? You're actually not wrong. I don't think she'll be dead within hours. I reckon Agnes would just stay in her house for a bit. I reckon she's got tin food stocked up. She'd be alright for a bit. That's what I reckon. Yeah, I'm glad you told me about the Forgotten Police March on the costume thing. It completely slipped my mind, but that was the costume I believe I knew in my mind there was a costume I was forgetting, but I couldn't think. I was Googling, I couldn't think. I probably should have asked someone, but yeah, that was the costume I was forgetting on that video. I'm pretty sure anyway. I don't know. Akira knows I swear he knows karate and shit, so I reckon long lasting. I don't know if he'll grow old, but I reckon Akira would be long lasting for sure. Yeah, I reckon Agnes would stay. She'd stay in her home for a week. That's what I reckon. Apu, I'm going to say last a while. I don't think he would die, really soon, but I don't know if he'd be long-lasting. I'd say last a while. Arnie Pie, dead after a while. I don't think I have any reasons to think that he would last too long. I don't know. That's a tricky one. Arnie Pie's tricky. I'm going to say dead after a while. Why not? Let's go for that. Arnie Pie would survive for a bit, but then probably die. Barney, no chance. He'd probably be drunk when it happened. I reckon he'd fall into a gutter. Yeah, no, that's true. Apu has a garden on top of the Quickie Mart. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking last a while. I don't think Apu would be great in, like, conflict, though. I know there's that one episode where that one zombie Treehouse of Horror segment, where he's, like, a survivalist, but then the first time, like, he tries to save the Simpsons, he gets screwed over and dies. And that's why I reckon Apu would only last a while. I reckon he'd trust the wrong people and get killed. Survive for a bit for Artie Ziff. I think he's got the resources and the houses and stuff, so I reckon he would survive a bit, but eventually zombies or whatever would get in and he'd die. Yeah, Barney would be drunk when it happened, so I generally think Barney has no chance. Bart, I think he's street smart and stuff, but ultimately, I reckon Bart would get into trouble and he'd be dead after a while. I reckon he'd survive for a bit. Bernice Hibbert is like such a nothing burger character. We know nothing about her really, so I'm just gonna go with would avoid conflict. I don't really know enough about her. I reckon she'd avoid conflict though. I reckon she'd be fine for a bit. Yeah, exactly though. But the reason why the Super Mario Gallard, the reason why the Simpsons left him behind is because Apu trusted them, and that's his lack of survival skills. He trusted them. Bill and Marty, dead pretty soon. I reckon they'd be too obsessed. I reckon they'd eventually die. I don't know. I don't really have any reasons to think that Bill and Marty would survive a while. Bleeding Murphy, no offense, no chance. I don't really know. Blinky, no chance. I'm sorry. You got no chance to survive him. Sideshow Bob, honestly, long-lasting. I think he's conniving enough to long-last, but I think of it... Actually, I'm debating. I'm going to have an audience poll. What do you reckon? Because I reckon long-lasting in the fact that I think he's got the willpower to survive, but at the same time, I think... I feel like his stupidity would like screw him over. Let's have a look. I want to see what you guys think before. So tell me your opinions right now. Nah, Bart would do something stupid, like get himself killed. Yeah, that's why. But I feel like dead after a while's fair for him. You reckon long lasting for Sideshow Bob? I've got one for long lasting. All right. He'd set on a fake running away. Wait, who's this for? Sideshow Bob. Oh, Rake. Rake, yeah. I was thinking Rake. Alright. Long lasting. We'll go with long lasting. I reckon Bob. I reckon that's fair. Boobarella. We don't really know nothing about. I'm going to say just from her appearance. She looks pretty dead, to be fair, already. I reckon she'd be one to avoid conflict. In the sense that she already looks pretty dead anyway, so she would just blend in with the zombies. Brandine, no word of a lie, I generally think Brandine would grow old. Brandine is smart, Brandine is cunning, Brandine has willpower, she don't take no shit. I reckon Brandine will grow old, alright? She'll be there, she probably couldn't save a million of her children. Some of her children, ultimately, they're gonna die. Cletus probably will die too. But Brandine, I reckon Brandine will survive. Bumblebee Man. I generally think no chance for Bumblebee Man. Maybe it's just me, but Bumblebee Man seems to either be, in his real life, he tends to be depressed. Or he seemed depressed in 22 short films about Springfield. And in his performance lifestyle, he's like an idiot. like, well, that's how he plays. I don't know. I think he's got no chance. Mr. Burns. Okay, so Mr. Burns has resources, mainly Mr. Smithers and his, his goons and his many men. I reckon he's gonna be dead after a while. I reckon Mr. Burns could probably survive for a bit, just based on the people he knows. But again, after a while, I think he would probably either die of old age or would be a surprise for some. Do you reckon Bumblebee Man survived? You know what? I'm gonna go dead pretty soon for Bumblebee Man. You bring up a good point with Mr. Burns' resources, but like if a big horde comes through, how well are those resources gonna be? Mr. Burns can't survive on his own, so I'm gonna say dead after a while for Mr. Burns. Burns is stupid though. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I think dead after a while is fair for Mr. Burns. Carl. Oh, that's so tricky. Carl, I think, survived for a bit. I don't think Carl would survive too long. I don't know. He's not exactly dumb, but yeah, we're gonna go with that. So for a bit. Crazy Cat Lady, no chance. She'll probably be on the street when it happens. So you reckon avoid conflict? Yeah, to be fair, actually no, that's fair. I think Carl would probably avoid conflict. Crazy Cat Lady, no chance. I reckon she'd be on the streets with her cats. She'd get mauled to death. Gary Chalmers. This is a tricky one. What's the opinion on Gary Chalmers? Go on, tell me. Yeah, he's a wilderness guy. Fair dues, yeah. Should we say last a while? Do you reckon last a while's fair? So for Cletus, right, I think he would survive for a bit, and the fact that Brandine would, she'd try and keep him safe, because I think Brandine's a good survivor. But, yeah, Chalmers is a prepper, I guess. Should we go long lasting then? Does that seem fairer? Yeah, we'll go with long lasting. I don't see him being like will grow old, but I think long lasting's fair. Yeah, Cletus, I think he survived for a bit. Comic book guy, no chance, no offense. I think he's probably got the pop fiction aspect, but I don't think he would actually survive forever. I feel like he'd die pretty quickly. Maybe I'm being mean, but whatever. Judge Constance Harm. Dead pretty soon. She's kind of old. I don't know. She lives in a houseboat. Who knows? I feel like her houseboat got broken into pretty easily. She doesn't seem to be pretty security conscious, so I'm going to go with dead pretty soon. Any objections, let me know. Cookie Kwan is pretty fierce. I reckon lasts for a while. I reckon she'd defend the west side for a while, Database, dead pretty soon. He's probably got parents that would keep him safe for a bit, but I doubt he would have much of a chance. Disco Stew, I'm going to go dead after a while. I feel like he could probably moon dance his way out of many conflicts, but he would eventually meet his end pretty quickly. I think Dolph has survived for a bit. I reckon he's pretty. We may as well do Jimbo and Kearney. I think all the bullies would survive for a bit, but they'd probably get a bit too confident with their zombie killing skills and eventually screw themselves over and all die. That's why I reckon it would happen. Where the hell is Kearney? Kearney's got to be here somewhere, surely. Someone let me know. I can't actually find him. I'm bleeding like really blind right now. He's definitely on the first row. Don't think he's on the wait, is that him? Yeah, that's him. Okay, let's look at the comments. So we got Mr. Burns doesn't watch the news. He wouldn't know what's going on. Yeah, that's fair. I think though he does have Smithers and like other resources, so I think Dead After a While still fair. Chalmers is a wilderness guy. Yeah, isn't Chalmers a prepper? She'll throw cats at the zombies, referring to the crazy cat lady. Worst rating ever. Oof. Comic book guy would die immediately. He's too unhealthy. That's a fair critique. Nah, no chance for database. You reckon no chance for database? I don't know. He's got parents. That's what I'm thinking. I feel like I feel like a kid has a better chance than like comic book guy, just because database has like parents that would like protect him for a little bit. That's the only reason why I'm putting him dead pretty soon and not no chance. CBG, a comic book guy, wouldn't go outside and would just watch movies all day. Maybe last a week. I don't know though. But if we're talking like it hits immediately, I reckon like he'd be sitting in the android's dungeon waiting for customers. A zombie would bang on the door. He'd get all angsty and all like upright, and he'd go out there being like, "What are you doing?" And like, "What are you doing?" And then like the zombie would like rip him to shreds. Database has little to no combat smarts. No, I don't disagree with you. I'm solely only like letting him not have no chance just because he has parents. That's like literally the only reason. And if he's not with his parents, he's probably like gonna be at school. And Skinner has like Vietnam like like Chalmers might be there. Skinner has Vietnam experience. Dr. Nick. I think Dr. Nick would be... That's a tricky one. I don't actually know. I reckon he'd make himself useful, right? He'd be like, I'm a doctor. So he'd like get in people's good books. You reckon I should move Bart up? Yeah, to be fair, I think at the least he should be on par with the bullies. Dr. Nick, I'm going to say dead after a while. I reckon he'd try and use his smarts, but he's not, like, very smart as a person, so I feel like dead after a while for him. I think survive for a bit is fair for Bart. Dredrick Tatum, he's a boxer, he's a fighter. I've got to go with long lasting. I just... he's a bulky dude. He's a boxer. He knows how to fight. I reckon he can take, I just feel like he'd be able to fight his way through hordes of zombies. Yeah, exactly, for Dredrick Tatum. Duffman. Can I be like low-key with Duffman? I generally feel like he has no chance. I'm trying to feel like dead pretty soon. Yeah, I feel like dead pretty soon or no chance. I'll let you guys decide depending on what the opinion is. The reason why dead pretty soon for Duffman is he's A, an alcoholic, B, obsessed with his job, or C, like a loser, I guess. Like he doesn't really have anything else going on, at least as far as we know. So, I don't know. I feel like he'd be either dead pretty soon or he'd have no chance at all. Yeah, I think dead pretty soon is probably fair. You have a good point. He has good, he is fairly fit. He has a good body. And exactly, he has many access to duff trucks. That's true. Dead pretty soon? Yeah, we'll go with, yeah. Oh, to be fair, there's only one episode where he appears to be drunk, but I'm just kind of going off that, really. Yeah. You'd say survive for a bit, would avoid conflict. I'm going to go with dead pretty soon. I don't know. We'll go with dead pretty soon, unless one person... Right, you got 30 seconds to object to Duffman not being dead pretty soon. If someone else objects, then I'll put him for dead after a while. 30 seconds, starting now. Go. Alright, well, taking that. I know that wasn't quite 30 seconds, but I'm waiting. Eddie, I think, would last for a while. Mainly because he's a cop, he's got a gun. He's fairly incompetent, but I don't think he's so incompetent to the fact that he would die, like, instantly. Alright, he's going dead after a while. Yeah, you got it right. We'll put definitely dead after a while. I don't think he would die, like, so quick. I think last for a while is fair. Fat Tony, he's pretty unfit, but at the same time, I think he would also last for a while. I do think he would get himself into some situation where he'd screw himself over, but he has guns, he has men, he has resources. I reckon he'd survive for a long while. Same with Eddie. Professor Frink, oof, I reckon he'd use his skills. You know what? No. I think he would avoid conflict. I think Frink is the type of person who would avoid conflict. I see him as that. You think Fat Tony, Mafia? Fat Tony has the whole Mafia. Fat Tony depends on if he is with the Mafia. Would the Mafia long lasting? You reckon long lasting? I'm gonna go last for a while. I don't know. I feel like the Mafia it's not like that big, right? I've never really seen it as like that big. Baby Gerald got parents, so I'm gonna go with the same logic with Database. Dead pretty soon in the fact that I feel like Gerald would Frink would stay in his house, but I feel like that counts as avoid conflict really. Because if his house gets like fucked over by a big like herd of zombies, he's screwed. He's out of there. He's dead. Baby Gerald is like a tricky one because it's a baby. So I'm just gonna go with we're dead pretty soon. The fact that his parents probably would help him for a bit. You reckon Gerald is like capable? Gil's got no chance, obviously. Well, this one's that one's not really debatable. It's fucking God. How am I meant to do that? Well, it's God, so I guess he has omnipotent power. So will grow old most likely. Dead after a while, quite intelligent. Yeah, I don't know, but then like physically speaking, Gerald ain't doing shit against like free zombies. Grandpa, I'm sorry, but no chance. He's old as shit. He's not very smart. He's dead instantly. Hank Scorpio, he's rich. Nah, I feel quite confident. Hank Scorpio, I reckon he'd grow old. He'd find the right people. He's got the resources. He's pretty damn smart for the most part. I reckon Hank Scorpio would probably grow old. I'd like to see... God could literally end the outbreak. That's what I mean. God would grow old. Grandpa would have no chance, yeah. Home would leave him. Yeah, Repabe. I agree with Scorpio. Yeah, I think Scorpio is pretty damn smart. He's a bit goofy. He's goofy, but he's not like dumb, right? So I feel like Hank Scorpio could survive like a long... I reckon he could grow old. Yeah, for sure. Anyone want to buy some Gaviscon? Mole Man. No chance for Mole Man. We've seen Mole Man die a million times. I don't think there's any chance for Mole Man, sadly. It hurts me to say, but Mole Man ain't got no chance. Helen Lovejoy. This is a avoid conflict person. I reckon she'd hide herself into the church or the house. She'd hide away. She'd try her best to avoid conflict. I don't reckon she's lasting that long. All right, she would complain about the children dying or some shit. Okay. Yeah. Herb Powell has some resources, I guess, if we're counting his non-broke character. I guess he technically, like, if we're considering like a canon timeline, he would be broke at this point, I guess. I don't know. What happens in the second Herb episode? I actually forget it. I reckon he has contacts, he has people. Survive for a bit. I think that's fair. I don't know. I don't think we know enough about his character. Yeah, survive for a bit. I've got one person agreeing. We'll count that. Herman, I reckon... So I don't reckon he'd last a while. I reckon he's long lasting. He knows military shit. He's got guns. He knows tactics. I actually generally think he's a sneaky bastard as well. I see him as a bit of a snake. I reckon he can manipulate people into helping him in certain situations. I don't think he'd grow old, but I generally feel like Herman would be long-lasting. Daryl Dixon in the Simpsons art style is cursed as hell. It is a bit cursed, but, you know, it makes a cool thumbnail, so... yeah. So I feel like... Wait... He's a veteran and he's access to a lot of guns and stuff, but he's missing an arm. He is missing an arm, but I'm trying not to be like ableist, alright? I'm taking this into consideration. I reckon Herman would like manipulate the shit to like, you know, try and survive. He did get bested by Simpsons. Alright, now you're like making me second guess my decision, alright? I feel like I gotta bump him down to last for a while. Okay. Right, Uranus 007 and Spring King, you decide. Is Herman staying in long lasting or last for a while? You two decide, and I'll put him in long lasting if it'll last for a while. What does yeah mean? I need a long lasting or last for a while. Alright, give me either one. You'd nerf him for last a while. Spring King? Spring King. Spring King. Okay, wait, no. Long lasting. Alright, no, he's sticking in long lasting then, I guess. He's sticking in long lasting. Well, Clementine is missing a leg. Him missing an arm doesn't mean shit. Well, yeah, but we haven't really seen Clementine survive that much in the Walking Dead comics yet. Dr. Hibbert. So Dr. Hibbert is a doctor. He's a valuable person. But I put Dr. Nick in Dead After a While. So where do I put Dr. Hibbert? Probably the same place. I feel like Dr. Hibbert, he's not exactly, like, physically fit. No offense. And, he's annoying. I feel like he'd get on someone's nerves. He can be pretty annoying. I feel like he'd be dead after a while. He's a doctor, so he'd find himself useful. But as soon as he pisses someone off, I feel like he'd be gone. He is smarter than Dr. Nick. Should we say survive for a bit? Or we should actually... I feel like he'd avoid conflict. Would he avoid conflict? They do kill a doctor every season on The Walking Dead, to be fair. Should we say... I don't know, this is tricky. I'm feeling survive for a bit. That's where my heart's going. Survive for a bit. I don't think I can put it any higher than that. Because I feel like Hibbert would try and help to some degree. Even if it was for his own gain. Homer? Dead pretty soon. Homer's dying fairly soon. I feel like he would have like... I feel like he'd avoid it for a bit. He'd probably get away just with his dumb luck, because he is a fairly lucky guy, as silly as that is to sort of enforce like a luck. But Homer's dead pretty soon, let's lie. He's unfit, he's dumb, like he dying. Miss Hoover, dead pretty soon. I feel like she pissed someone off, she gets shot in the face or some shit. Itchy has got no chance because he's a fictional character. Well, how am I meant to have Itchy? I can't put it... Right, okay. Hang on. I've got an idea, right? If they're a fictional character within the Simpsons universe, this is what I'm doing. Alright, because I can't count it. I can't count Itchy. Alright, it's NA. And if is Scratchy in here? Scratchy's NA. I hate to be like a bummer, but that's what I'm doing, alright? No, I get that Itchy would survive for a long time, but Itchy's like it's like really annoying because Itchy was a fictional character. Okay, fine. Wait, shit! Have I just like erased Itchy and Scratchy? Do you know what? I've just erased Itchy and Scratchy. That fixes all my problems. No, shut up, right? Everyone, shut up. I've erased all my problems. I've somehow removed Itchy and Scratchy. Shit, Poochie's still here. Hang on. We gotta wait We got a way to get rid of Poochie. Watch this. This is the technique. Boom, gone. Alright. We're getting rid of Itchy and Scratchy. They're gone, okay? They're gone. They're fucking out of here, alright? We don't need them. Jacqueline Bouvier. No chance. She's old as shit. I'm sorry. Janie. I'm gonna go with the same. I don't really know enough about Janie. Janie doesn't have enough characterization. Dead pretty soon. She's got parents, so I reckon they'd keep her safe for a bit. But I reckon she'd die. Jasper, okay? Someone was saying about old people dying pretty soon. I reckon Jasper survived for a bit. Jasper, he'd give those zombies a paddling. He'd give them a big paddling, alright? Technically, Itchy would die since the show would end if a zombie outbreak happened. Exactly. But Itchy's a fictional character, so that's silly. Alright, we're not with I've erased Itchy, Scratchy, and Poochie. They're not even on here anymore. That's a paddling. Jasper is fierce, but I would say dead after a while. Do you know what? I know I'm saying survive for a bit. I'm being nice. No! Jasper wouldn't die with all the old... Jasper is a fierce old guy, alright? You're being ageist, Nubby, alright? You're being ageist to my man Jasper, alright? He'd survive for a bit. That's where I'm going with. Jessica Lovejoy. Do you know what? Jessica's pretty smart. She's pretty streetwise. But ultimately, she is a child. She couldn't defend herself for very long. I'm going with survive for a bit. I reckon she'd survive for a little bit, but eventually she would die. Drunksy. Who's Drunksy? Is this Julio? Julio is... I don't really know enough about Julio. Julio is difficult. I'm going to go with avoid conflict. Alright, fine. He'd be fucking dead pretty soon. Alright? If you want to like disregard Jasper, fine, go for it. There you go. Fucking beat me into my Jasper. You know, Jessica's manipulative. I reckon dead after a while is fair for her. The tier list is good so far. I know it's good so far because I fucking made it, alright? Kang and Kodos. If we're gonna count them, they're gonna grow old because they got a fucking spaceship. Like, how are they gonna die? Ken Brockman, he always seems to be in the newsroom when shit goes down. I generally think no chance. He seems to be wrong place, wrong time for the most of his life. I feel like no chance. Like, you know, when the dolphins invade, he's killed. When, like, aliens invade, he's killed. They always die. Ken Brockman's just always in wrong place, wrong time. He's extremely unlucky. Kang and Kodos literally just do nothing. Zombies are not smart enough to go to space. Exactly. They could just stay in their spaceship and they'd be fine. They'll laugh. No, we're going with an Earth invasion, Nubby. It's not a galaxy invasion, so... Yeah. That's how it's going down. Kirk Van Houten. No fucking chance. Kirk is a loser. He deserves to be killed by zombies. That's how I feel about Kirk. Alright? Kirk deserves to die. I hate Kirk. God, I hate Kirk. Sorry. Edna Krabappel. Edna Krabappel is... This is a tricky one, you know. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Edna Krabappel was so difficult. Because I feel like she wouldn't avoid conflict, but at the same time, I don't think she'd be very good in conflict. Survive for a bit? Yeah, I feel like that's fair. Survive for a bit. Yeah, we'll go with that. Krusty. He's got resources, but I don't think ultimately dead after a while for Krusty. Dewey Largo. Dead pretty soon. Wait, no. Yeah, dead pretty soon. I feel like Dewey would just piss off someone. Yeah, Krusty has... Yeah, but I feel like his resources would allow him to be dead after a while. I feel like Laura's pretty damn smart. You know, like street smart and shit. I feel like she could last for a while. I don't know. Nah. I don't think she'd avoid conflict, but I reckon if conflict came to her, she'd be able to face it for a fair amount of time. Like, Lou's pretty inconfident, Fat Tony's pretty unfit, Cookie Kwan doesn't really have weapons, and Apu has shown himself to be fairly reasonable, but very, if anything, too trustworthy. I feel like Laura Powers fits in with this category quite nice. You'd say last a while? Yeah, okay. Blue-haired lawyer. I feel like dead pretty soon. I don't think he has, like, not a chance. Like, he's a skinny guy. I reckon he could run away. I reckon he could talk himself out of some situations. But at the same time, I don't think he would, he has money. Yeah, but money's going to be useless when a zombie outbreak happens. I feel like he's dead pretty soon. He tries to all the zombies and you get killed. Lou, is this Lou or Legs? I feel like this is Legs. Legs, right? I think he's about on par. I feel like all the Mafia guys are pretty incompetent for the most part. I feel like last a while's fair for him. You love the picture for Mo? Oh, yeah, it's a great picture. Lenny, I feel he's got to be like next to Carl. What's Carl? I feel like Lenny would avoid conflict as well. Lewis, okay, Spring King said something about Lewis before, right? Upcoming, Lewis would survive for a bit. He lasted a while on the island in the episode The Bus. True, but then like all the kids lasted forever on The Bus. Lewis, I'm going to go with... We don't know... Well, look, right here. Lewis, I don't know about, right? Lewis is a background character that we know shit all about. And that's the only reason why I'm going to go with dead pretty soon. Because the only thing I know about Lewis is he's a child and he has parents. So I've got to go with he'd be dead pretty soon because his parents would try to keep him safe. But most likely, the zombies, they're breaking in, they're eating him, he's dead, right? I'm sorry, Spring King, but Lewis is getting the harsh ash treatment. Lindsay Naegle got no chance. I reckon she'd be one of the first victims, okay? Because Lindsay Naegle would, like, scream or some shit, alright? Lionel Hutz. Do you know what? Despite not being as competent as the blue-haired lawyer, I feel like he is as conniving. So I'm going to go with dead pretty soon. I feel like he could, like, talk his way out. Lindsay is a prepper. Wait, no, you've got a good point. Lindsay is a prepper. But I don't feel like she... Maybe I'm being kind of sexist, but I feel like she's not as good as Gary. But no, you bring up a good point. She is a prepper. I feel like I have to default go for long lasting. I love how I just like completely upgraded it from no chance to that. Lisa is fairly smart. I reckon she wouldn't be very good at conflict. She wouldn't be very good at fighting, but she would be very good at either A, talking her way out of things, or B, like finding some sneaky way of getting out of like a zombie conflict. And I reckon eventually as she gets older, she's fairly independent. I reckon she'd get pretty strong. I reckon she'd adapt pretty well. But I don't think she would last forever. I'm going to go with Lisa from all we know of her. I'm going to go for last for a while. Alright? Yeah, she would definitely survive longer than Bart, for sure. Lisa is smarter than Bart. And, like, despite, like, Bart probably being physically more stronger than Lisa, I still think Bart would, like, screw himself over and get killed. Whereas Lisa, I think she'd make good choices. She'd think about things logically. But ultimately, I don't think she'd be, like, very long-lasting. I think last a while is fair for Lisa. You say would avoid conflict. Sure, she probably would avoid conflict, but I feel like eventually conflict would find her, so she'd be forced not to avoid conflict. That's why I'm going with last a while. Louis. Bound par with legs. I got no. Lou. Bound par with Eddie. Actually, no. Lou is more competent than Eddie, I feel. Nah, do you know what? Just to like sort of split them up. I'm gonna put Lou there. I'm gonna put Lou long lasting, just because I feel like he's a bit more competent than Eddie and Wiggum. Actually, I feel like Wiggum is like ultimately. Do you know what? We'll do Wiggum now. Where's Wiggum? Where's Wiggum at? Wiggum, I generally think would be dead pretty soon. Just because Wiggum is like the most incompetent bastard ever, and he'd like think a zombie was like a drunk guy or some shit, right? He'd get eaten, okay? Virgin? Who the fuck are you calling a virgin? What, Wiggum's a virgin? Or me a virgin? Sam Brook, who a virgin? Come on. Fess up. Tell me. Are you projecting right now? Are you a bit self-conscious about your virginity? It's alright, dude. You can say that. Luann Van Houten. He gone? Oh, that's fine. He can go. Luann Van Houten. Luann Van Houten. Where do I put her? Dead pretty soon. I'm gonna go dead pretty soon. I don't know. I feel like Luann Van Houten would die fairly soon. I don't know. I just never see her. Joe, Sam Brook, this guy, right? I don't care, right? If he's gonna be like this, I'm gonna. Oh, you're so scared. Okay, Sam Brook is still here. Who the fuck are you calling a virgin then? Come on, let's hear it. Luigi, all right, Luigi. Luigi would. I feel like he's dead after a while. I don't know. Luigi has like. I feel like he has some feist in him, you know. I reckon he has some finesse, you know. Yeah, exactly. He relied on the mafia as well, a little bit. I reckon he cozied himself up. I feel like though he'd be like the first victim though. I feel like dead after a while is fair for Luigi. He cozied himself up to the mafia. He'd try his best. He'd probably avoid conflict a little bit, but ultimately, I feel like he'd be dead after a while. Lunch Lady Dora, like no lie, I feel like Lunch Lady Dora could kick some ass. Just from what we've seen of her, I feel like she'd last a while. Maybe that's me like assuming things, but I feel like yeah, I'm gonna go for last for a while. Okay. Lolene has been seen to be like an alcoholic. She's pretty like very dependent on other people. I generally feel like Lolene has no chance. As sweet as she is, as nice as I like her, I feel like yeah, she'd be dead. I feel like she has no chance. I generally do. I feel like she has no chance at all. I really hate to say it, but Lolene just feels like she just feels a bit, you know, very dependent on other people. Maggie, okay, so Maggie, despite being a baby, look, Maggie is fairly smart. I don't think she's got no chance. I don't think she's dead pretty soon. She's got her family to protect her, and at the very least, she has Lisa here, so we know that Lisa at least goes here, so Lisa will protect her, but I think at this point, you know, Lisa's last a while. Let's say like six years for Lisa. Maggie's like 7 at this point. Maggie's got I think at 7 years old, Maggie would be like pretty like mature, right? She'd be like a 15-year-old almost, at 7 years old. She'd be surviving. She'd be killing zombies. She'd be like pretty fucking on it, right? Okay. She'd be like long lasting. Grow old is debatable. I'm debating it. Long lasting or grow old. I'm gonna go with long lasting. I don't know. I think grow old is like too. It's too wild of a prediction. I feel like long lasting is fair enough. I don't know. Who's weird? Sam Brooke, mate. What you saying? Right, okay. It's fine. I love Sam Brooke. Manjula. Alright, Manjula. Feel like Apu would protect her. Probably not protect her enough. I feel like, just from what we know about her, I feel like she would avoid conflict. Apu would try and help her, but I feel like eventually she would die. That's my opinion on Manjula. Marge is fairly smart. I think she's fairly capable as well. Obviously, in the Muscular Marge episode, she can definitely get buff, get tough, get smacking up some dudes. Last a while. Yeah. You know what? No, I feel like she could survive with Lisa. Last a while. I don't think Marge would avoid conflict. I feel like Marge would actually take on conflict head first. We've seen her definitely do that before. So I generally feel like Marge would take on some conflict. You feel like Marge is mid? Nah, I generally think Marge is quite capable. Maybe I'm just being very nice because she's like more of a central character, but I reckon she would survive as long as Lisa would. If not, Lisa would survive a little longer. Martin. No chance. Sorry, Martin. Marvin Monroe. No chance. Sorry, Marvin Monroe. Ned Flanders. Let's consider she's alive. I go with dead pretty soon. She'd probably survive in a house for a bit, but eventually zombies would tear through and she'd be gone. Sacho Mel. He's got a big bone. I'm going to say we're dead after a while. I think he's about on par with Krusty, to be honest. He's fairly incompetent. Yeah. Milhouse, he's got a very incompetent mother and father. I don't think they could protect him very soon, very, very long. So I generally feel like, yeah, he's dead pretty soon. Yeah, but Marvin Monroe might be dead already. It's debatable, but even if he is dead already, still, I'm trying to consider him when he was alive. Mo, listen, Mo, he's very suicidal. He's a bit of a dork. He's a bit of a loser. He's very silly. But Mo has a shotgun. Mo's pretty capable. Mo could stand his ground. I'm going to go with last a while, alright? That's my opinion for Mo. I reckon last a while's fair. Oh, God. Damn. Boom. We've got Homer's mother. What's her name? Shit, what the hell of her name? I've actually forgot her name. Mona Simpson, right? She's capable. She is capable. She's pretty conniving. You know, she jumps out of that prison bus and shit. I'm gonna go with dead after a while. Let's pretend she's alive. I know she's dead in the show's canon. Alright, we're taking a rewind. We're pretending that she's still alive. She jumps out of a prison bus. We know that she's capable. We know she's been in prison for a while. She's pretty tough. Dead after a while. Mainly because she is still old. So I feel like she couldn't last forever. But, you know, obviously she can't grow old. She already is old. But dead after a while, I think is fair. Mo would probably want to go on a killing spree. Possibly. Mr. Teeny, he's a pretty capable monkey, despite being an animal. I'm going to say he'd survive for a bit. Eventually, some zombies would overpower him and eat him. But I reckon he could survive for a fair amount of time. We have good old Nelson's mother. No chance. Sorry, Nelson's mother. I feel like you would try. It's really bad. I don't want to say she would try and No, I don't think Mr. Teeny's dead soon. Mr. Teeny's like, I feel like he's a ferocious little chimpanzee. Okay. Yeah, Mrs. Muntz. Sorry, I feel like you got no chance. Ned Flanders. Okay, look, Ned Flanders would avoid conflict for sure, and I generally feel like Ned Flanders would avoid conflict to the degree. He'd survive for a bit, and then eventually zombies would come for him. They'd kill him. He'd be a goner. Nelson Muntz. Alright, I've got to wrap this up soon. Nelson Muntz. I think Nelson, look, you're cool. I don't know. Nelson's pretty street smart. I'm gonna go the same with the bullies. I reckon survive for a bit. That's my opinion. Ned lives. Yeah, but I feel like Ned wouldn't kill zombies. I feel like he'd be too guilty about it. So I feel like he'd avoid conflict until conflict would come to him. No, Ned would open the door to help zombies. Yeah, exactly. I feel like he would lock himself into his house, try and avoid it as much as possible, but eventually one day they'd break in and he'd feel too guilty to kill the zombies. That's how I'm going with it, would avoid conflict, okay? Nelson would go with his goons. Yeah, but I feel like, again, he'd survive for a bit. The nerds, no chance. Sorry. No street smarts. One of them is very unfit. The others are real big dorks. I feel like they're dead pretty soon. Old Jewish man, I hate to say it, but dead pretty soon. No chance for you. Otto, honestly, he'd probably be high as fuck, so yeah, probably no chance for him. Which one's this? Selma or Patty? I'm gonna say this is Patty, right? This is Patty. Tell me this is Patty. Excuse me. Oh, I ingested that the wrong way. Patty, right? Patty, dead pretty soon. Again, I feel like she'd avoid it. I'll put the same thing for Selma. I feel like both of them would die pretty soon. The mayor has resources. He has his bodyguards. He probably has other, things that he could do. I think ultimately he would avoid conflict. He'd try and have other people fight his fight for him. But eventually, he would get screwed over and die. That's my prediction. Patty Smatty, alright? We know who she is. Rabbi! Okay, he's dead pretty soon. Ralph Wiggum, honestly, no chance. Rabbi has no chance. A, because he's quite old. B, because he has no resources. C, because, I don't know. I feel like maybe you get some, I don't know. I feel like he's got no chance. Ralph, same thing. Just because an extra added bonus, the fact that he's a dumbass, beyond, I feel like, yeah, he's got no chance. Richard is on par with his buddy Lewis. Todd, I feel like he would also avoid conflict with his father. Is that Rod or Todd? I don't know. Rod, Todd, whatever, they're going together. Judge Snyder, I'm gonna go with dead pretty soon. As far as we know, he's fairly overweight. I reckon he could probably put up a bit of a fight, but I reckon he'd probably be dead pretty soon. Sorry. Ruth Powers is honestly grow old. I generally feel like Ruth Powers would probably be pretty much she'd be a badass. I reckon she'd adapt to the apocalypse pretty quickly. I reckon she'd be able to, find a gun, find a weapon. I reckon she'd be able to survive for a long time, generally. And 99% of kids would die here. Well, yeah. Unfortunately, kids probably would die pretty quickly. Unless they're, very smart kids. There's not really... I've got no other, opinion. And also, a lot of these kids, we barely know anything about their characters, so I can't really say anything. Rod and Todd don't really have tons of development, so I've got to go off what their dad would probably force them to do. Sanjay, I'm going to say dead after a while. Actually, no, dead pretty soon. I feel like he wouldn't be able to survive for long. Santa's Little Helper tends to be a pretty dumb dog, so I'm going to go with no chance. Sorry, Santa's Little Helper. You're a pretty dumbass dog. But Snowball 2 seems to be much smarter, much more capable. I'm going to go with Will Grow Old. Mainly because cats have, like, in terms of, like, humans, have shorter lives anyway. And I feel like Snowball 2 would be able to avoid conflict, alright? Snowball 2 is a smart-ass cat, alright? Santa's Little Helper is a dumbass dog, alright? As much as I'm... Hey, listen, right? I'm a dog person more than I'm a cat person, alright? I love dogs. I don't really care for cats that much. Mainly because I've never grown up with cats. I don't hate cats, but, like... if I was going to have a dog or a cat, I'd have a dog. But, at the same time, I've got to acknowledge that in the context of the Simpsons show, Santa's Little Helper is a dumbass. So, no Santa's Little Helper. Sorry, you're going to die. It would be cool to see a whole non-canonical zombie apocalypse episode. Yeah, they've had segments before, though. I feel like that's enough. Sarah Wiggum. I know nothing about her character. I didn't watch the Femme Fatale episode. What was it called? Femme Gems, whatever it was called. I think it was like a Uncut Gems parody with Sarah Wiggum and Marge, right? I didn't watch the episode. I really wanted to watch the episode, but I haven't watched it yet. So I don't actually know enough about Sarah Wiggum's character. I really know her, like, very brief appearances. So I'm going to go on par with Wiggum. It's the best bet I've got. Sea Captain. He's old. He pretends to be wise, but ultimately he's not very wise. I feel like he's got no chance. Shauna, fairly street smart. I hate to. Yeah, I feel like she can survive for a while. Survive for a bit. I think that's fair. Survive for a bit. Sherry and Terry. About on par with the other kids. Not really much else to say. Skinner, he's a Vietnam vet. I reckon he'd probably long lasting. I'm gonna go with long lasting. Controversial maybe. I reckon he's long lasting. No, but like right. Think back to the Sea Captain in the Dolphin episode, right? The Dolphin Invasion Treehouse of Horror segment. He's like all egotistical, like, maybe not egotistical, but he's all like, he's up his own ass. He thinks he's gonna be like, he's like, I'll solve this dolphin situation, and then the dolphin kills him instantly. I feel like he pretends to be wiser and smarter than he is. I think he's a dumbass, alright? Sea Captain, he died quickly, okay? Skinner, long-lasting, you reckon, for Skinner? Well, I put him in long-lasting, so... Who the hell have we got next? Let's have a look. Waylon Smithers. Nah, Sea Captain, he'd be like the poor, like pissing about probably when he died, okay? He wouldn't even have the smarts to get on the boat. Waylon Smithers, I think he's fairly smart, but I feel like he'd be dead after a while, okay? I think he would probably die with Mr. Burns, so that's probably fair. Snake, look, okay, Snake, he's street smart to a degree. He's got weapons, as far as we know. I think last a while. Okay, I don't think he would last forever. I think eventually he'd run down a bad path and he'd get killed. But for the most part, I think he'd be fine. Squeaky Voice Team, not a chance. He'd probably be one of the first victims. He seems to be pretty dumb. Rich Texan, dead pretty soon. He's got resources, but I feel like he'd like annoy someone to the point they'd give up his location and like some like, you know, some group would come in and kill him. Or Johnny Tightlips. Maybe I'm just a fan. I feel like I'm a big fan of Johnny Tightlips. I really love his character. Like, I'm not saying nothing kind of thing. It's really funny, and part of me wants to put him like long lasting, but I feel like on par with the Mafia is fair. Reverend Lovejoy. I'm gonna say dead pretty soon. I feel like he'd lock himself in the church, but he'd die pretty soon. Wait, where did I put Helen? Where did I put Helen? I feel like he'd be on par with Helen. I put Helen would avoid conflict. Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I feel like he would as well. Troy McClure. He's probably got resources. I feel like Troy McClure would avoid conflict, probably survive for a bit, and then eventually die. So I haven't really checked comments in a while. Mayor would be high. 99% of kids here die soon. Steroids. She is buff. Future. The sea captain would grow old. Camp by the sea. Rip Santa's little helper. Snowball lives. It would be cool to see a whole... Okay, let's do that. Sarah dies sooner than later. Never. I forgot the episode. I disagree. The sea captain would have no chance. He would camp by the sea. Zombies can't swim. Skinner would last long. Treehouse of Horror segments are not canon. But I get ya. If he is in a boat, he could survive. And true zombies are not good swimmers. Yeah, but I feel like he'd be so dumb that he wouldn't even be in a boat by the time it happened. But I get ya. If he... Okay. What are you drinking? I'm drinking, hang on. Merlot. And, Snake is literally a perfect zombie survivor. I disagree. Dies, you would put her in avoid conflict? You'd put her in avoid conflict? Who? Who did I put in avoid conflict? Oh, Helen. Oh, right. I feel like you're talking about Helen. And, Uta wouldn't be fun because he is full of chocolate. Oh yeah, true. No chance. Wendell, he gets sick a lot. Honestly, no chance. Willie, am I wrong to put Willie in long lasting? Am I wrong to put Willie in long lasting? Future Wolfgang will last long. Fantastic physique. How's it good? You reckon Willie grows old? I don't entirely disagree, to be fair. I think Willie could... No. I agree. No, Willie would grow. He's above Brandy. Willie is the ultimate survivor. I think Willie would... He would use his Willie power, alright? Yeah. Maybe, but I think Willie's so overconfident. He would kill everyone. Wise guy. He'd piss someone off. I'm gonna say dead after a while. I feel like. Nah. I'm gonna say dead pretty soon. I feel like he'd piss someone off. He'd get himself killed. Rainier Wolfcastle, I think long lasting. Again, he's got a good physique. He's a fairly, physically domineering man. But at the same time, I feel like he'd piss someone off. He'd get killed. Alright. Nah, I disagree. Alright, look. Wolfgang? His name's Wolfcastle, right? Not Wolfgang, right? He's not Mozart. Like, Wolfcastle... He's fit. He doesn't have... As far as we know, he doesn't have guns, okay? They are props in his films. You're thinking of McBain, the character. I'm thinking of Wolfcastle, the actor, alright? And I don't feel like he has guns at the ready. He probably has a gun. He probably has a few guns. But I doubt he has, like, tons. He doesn't have, like, an armory. Plus, he's got a daughter to care for. And a wife. He's got weaknesses, and weaknesses can be exploited. And so for that reason, I'm going to go with long-lasting and not will grow old. Alright? I feel like, yeah, he isn't the smartest. I don't think Wolfcastle is that smart. I reckon he'd fuck himself over. And finally, the yes guy. The yes guy. No chance. I feel like he'd piss someone off. He'd piss someone off so much that someone would take a shotgun and blast him away, alright? That's my opinion on the yes guy. He'd get absolutely killed. Yeah, someone would say, can I shoot you? And he'd say, yes! Exactly, and then he'd die. Where the fuck is Sam Brooks? Sam Brooks, you coming back? You never answered my question. That Sam Brooks guy is such a meme. I swear he's been on my channel for like 8 years. Not 8 years, but like 5 years. You know, like 2 years. Comment and stuff. Haters gonna hate, alright? And I haven't blocked him yet, or I haven't banned him from the channel, alright? I like the hate. Anyway. That is the list done. We have our list completed. Tell me your thoughts on the list. I'm going to ask for any more questions. Any more questions that you have, please shoot them now. Sam Brooks is... Do you know what? No, I love Sam Brooks. I won't ban him. Even if he calls him if he calls me like every derogatory name under the sun, I will not ban him, alright? I love Sam Brooks, okay? He is a... I swear he's been on the channel for like 5 years, right? He's been commenting for a while. So whatever he calls me, I'll let him stay, alright? I still love him, okay? I'm the bigger man. See you then. No, oi. Uranus. Did I say pretty good see you? You gotta have a question for me, alright? Shoot a question at me before you leave, okay? I want to hear a question from Uranus. Artie will piss someone off. Yeah, we've already established. Yeah, I feel like Artie would, yeah. Any questions for me before I go, lob them my way, okay? Because my girlfriend, she's nearly done with her night shift. So once the apartment buzzer rings, I'm out of here. So get your questions in here right now. Because once that apartment buzzer rings, I'm disconnecting the stream. So you better type those questions away quickly if you have any. When is your next live? I don't know, man. Whenever I decide. Alright? Oh, shit. Give me a sec. Honestly, though, like, I don't know. Whenever I have, like, another thing to, like, go live for, really, I don't really often have have a reason to go live. I feel like tier lists are the only thing I have to go live. I'm like really self-conscious as well because I'm always worried that I'm gonna like dox myself or some shit. So I feel like tier lists are the only thing because I just go full screen and once I'm done, I just hit Alt Tab and disconnect OBS and it's all cool. What if she never comes back? She will come back. I mean, if she doesn't come back, then screw it. I mean, she said she'd be back like 50 minutes ago and she's not back yet, so who knows. On TSTO. Wait, what's this? Vader. What do you think about the update on TSTO? The update's fine. I like the Christmas update. It's fairly cool. I've said some shit about it, right, but I like to be critical about everything. I'm a consistent nitpicker, okay? So if I see like a flaw that I don't like, I'm gonna nitpick it. What is the worst update? That's such a tricky question. Hey, you heard the alarm. I'm out of here. What's the worst update? I don't know. Clash of Clans. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next video. The apartment buzzed, so I'm out of here. See you later. Bye.